Bonjour, this is Learn French with Frida. Bienvenue. Aujourd'hui, nous allons conjuguer le verbe être au présent de l'indicatif. That is to say, today we are going to learn how to conjugate the verb être. That verb means to be in present tense. This is the verb to be, the same verb we use when we want to say I am, or you are, or he is, she is, we are, you are, and they are. How do we say all that in French? And then after that, we will do practice activities on how to use that verb in sentences. Bienvenue. As I have stated earlier, the verb être means to be. And this is how we conjugate it in French. Je suis, that is to say, I am. Tu es, that is to say, you are when you're referring to one person. Il est, that is to say, he is. Elle est, that is to say, she is. On est, that is to say, one is. And then the plural is nous sommes, that is to say, we are. Vous êtes, that is to say, you are when you're talking about more than one person. Ils sont, that is to say, they are when you're referring to boys. And elles sont, that is to say, they are when you're referring to girls. Let's do that one more time. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est. Nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. I hope you are able to pronounce all those words correctly. Now let's try and form sentences using that verb. Our first sentence will be, you are a teacher. That will be, tu es professeur. Tu es professeur. Secondly, she is a student. Elle est étudiante. Elle est étudiante. Thirdly, he is a student. Il est étudiant. Il est étudiant. This is because the word étudiante was for the girl and étudiant was for the boy. Because for the girls, you remember, we differentiate between girls and boys, mostly by adding an E at the end when we are talking about girls. The fourth sentence, she is French. That will be, elle est française. Elle est française. The next one is, they are Canadians. They are Canadians, and in this case, they are boys. So we will say, ils sont canadiens. Ils sont canadiens. I am Kenyan. I am Kenyan. And because I am a girl, my sentence will be, je suis Kenyan. Je suis Kenyan. But if it's a boy, he will say, je suis Kenyan. Je suis Kenyan. Notice the two words. The difference is, when you're talking about a girl, the Kenyan ends with an E. And when you're talking about boys, the Kenyan does not have an E at the end, and we pronounce it as Kenyan, not Kenyan, Kenyan. The next sentence is, you are a singer. You are a singer will be, tu es chanteur. Tu es chanteur. And the next one is, they are Americans. And in this case, they are girls. They are Americans. And in this case, they are girls. So our sentence will be, Elles sont américaines. Elles sont américaines. Have you noticed how we are using that verb in those sentences? The conjugation is really helpful to help us know how those sentences are changing in French. And at this point, let's do our first practice activity. Match those subjects there with the correct conjugation of the verb être in present. Match those subjects there. Je, tu, vous, elle plural, il singular. Match them with the correct conjugation of the verb être. Let me give you 2 minutes to do that activity. Match them quickly. All right, I hope you have finished matching. Let's go to the second activity. On these sentences, you're going to fill in with the correct form of the verb être. Fill these sentences with the correct form of the verb être. After this exercise, we are going to mark the 2 activities. All right, there they are. The first sentence is le père de Jolie dash professeur de français. Le père de Jolie dash professeur de français, which is the correct form of être that you are going to use there. Fill in. The second sentence is vous dash très fatigué aujourd'hui. Vous dash très fatigué aujourd'hui, which is the most correct form of the verb être that we are going to use there. The third sentence, tu dash toujours en retard. Tu dash toujours en retard, which is the correct form of the verb être. The fourth sentence is Molly et Dolly dash mes amis. Molly et Dolly dash mes amis, which is the correct form of the verb être that we are going to use on that sentence. Let's proceed to the next sentence. Elle dash très contente d'être ici. Elle dash très contente d'être ici. Fill in with the correct form of the verb être. The next sentence is Caroline et moi dash bien. Caroline et moi dash bien. Fill it in with the correct form of the verb être. And the last sentence is les enfants dash à l'école. Les enfants dash à l'école, which is the most correct form of the verb être that we are going to use on that sentence. Let me give you 2 more minutes to finish filling them in, and then we will mark. All right, let's now mark our work. We start with the matching activity. You are supposed to match these subjects with the correct form of the verb être. What were your answers? Je was supposed to be matched with suis so that it becomes je suis. Tu es. Vous êtes so that it becomes vous êtes. Elle plural, elles sont. Elles sont. And il singular, il est. Il est. How many marks did you get out of 5? If you got 5 out of 5, give yourself a big smiley face. Well done. But if you missed any of those answers, please do the corrections so that you can remember next time. Let's mark the second activity. You are meant to fill in the gaps with the correct form of the verb être in present tense. Let's see what you wrote. The first one is le père de Jolie est professeur de français, because you are talking about the third person singular, like replacing it with il. Le père de Jolie, the father of Jolie, is a teacher of French. The second sentence, vous êtes très fatigué aujourd'hui. Vous êtes très fatigué aujourd'hui. So the answer there is it. That is to say, you are very tired today. The third sentence, tu es toujours en retard. Tu es toujours en retard. So the answer there is A. Tu es toujours en retard. You are always late. The fourth sentence, Molly et Dolly sont mes amis. Molly et Dolly sont mes amis, because Molly et Dolly, that means third person plural. They are my friends. Molly et Dolly sont mes amis. The fifth sentence, elle est très contente d'être ici. Elle est très contente d'être ici. She is very glad to be here. Sixth sentence, Caroline et moi. Caroline et moi sommes bien. Caroline et moi sommes bien. We, because it's Caroline and I. We are fine. Caroline et moi sommes bien. And the last one, les enfants sont à l'école. Les enfants sont à l'école. The babies are in school. Third person plural. Mark for yourself and count the ticks. How many did you get out of 7? 7 out of 7? Give yourself a smiley face. Well done. But if you missed any of those, please make sure you do the corrections. How did you find the lesson today? I hope you have learned something new, how to use the verb être in sentences. First of all, how to conjugate the verb être in present tense and how to use it in sentences. I want to give you homework, but before I do that, I will do a recap of our lesson today. We have been learning about the verb être and how to conjugate it in present tense. How do we conjugate it? Let's say it together. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est. The plural part, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. After we conjugated the verb être, we did some practice activities in order to help us understand how to use the verb être in sentences. We have just marked the sentences and I hope you got all of those correct. Now, let me give you some homework, something that you're going to practice with in your free time. The first practice activity will be, on your own, conjugate the verb être without checking. Conjugate the verb être in present tense. There are the subjects. I have written them down for you. So fill them in with the correct form of the verb être. Je, tu, il, elle, on. The plural, nous, vous, il, elle. Fill in with the correct form of the verb être. That's the first one. The second one is you're supposed to fill in the gaps with the correct form of the verb être, and I have given you two options in brackets. So choose the correct response to fill in the gaps that have been left. The first sentence, je ne dash pas italien. Je ne dash pas italien. That is a negative sentence to mean I am not Italian. So how will that be? What is the most correct form of the verb être that you're supposed to fill in with? The second sentence is Elle dash assez riche. Elle dash assez riche. Elle is in plural, so what's the correct form of the verb être? The third sentence is on dash en vacances. On dash en vacances. So fill in with the correct form of the verb être from the two choices that I have given you. The fourth sentence is la mère de Molly dash belle. La mère de Molly dash belle. Fill in that gap with the correct form of the verb être. And the fifth sentence is Marie dash contente aujourd'hui. Marie dash contente aujourd'hui. Fill it in with the correct form of the verb être. Once you're done with those two activities, take a picture and send it to me on my email, frenchwithfrida@gmail.com, or you can also reply on the comment section below. I will be glad to mark your work and see whether you have understood what I have taught about today. I am super happy that you joined us today to learn some French. Let's keep learning this language as we grow so that we can be fluent speakers of French in future. This is Learn French with Frida. If you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you do so and hit the notifications bell so that you can always receive notifications every time I upload a new video. Like this video and share it widely with your networks so that other people can also enjoy these French lessons. And before I end this lesson, I request you to also tell me how you found the lesson today. Did you understand everything? Is there any clarification that you need? Talk to me on the comment section below and I will be quick to reply to your comments. Over for now. See you in the next video.